Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back to another Logging from Scratch episode. So last time we were playing, we just kind of started cleaning up some of these bigger pieces here. We kind of got a really fugly looking load going on, but my plan for this episode was I was going to kind of walk along. I really want to get this site cleaned up so we can kind of move on to another section here. So what I want to do is kind of walk along this road and pick up all the long stuff. And then I think we can probably start moving the operation kind of more in that direction. I do have a new machine that we're going to play with today. I'm not going to bring it out just yet. We'll bring it out a little bit later in the video. But yeah, so let's start things off nice and smooth by just bringing this truck up here. We're going to walk along with the loader and clean up. I'm not going to try to splice this short stuff into the load because I think it'll be a little iffy, especially with these big ugly bits in here. I honestly don't even know how well this other long stuff will load on top of this, but we're just going to stuff it on there and hope for the best. So yeah, wish me luck. Alrighty, guys, so we kind of picked up a little bit there. It's kind of a wonky looking load, but I think it should be okay. I don't think I'm going to store this one. I think I'm going to sell it for sure. I'm actually more than curious what one of those big logs is worth. So what I might do is when we go to sell this, I think I'm going to separate it so that we pull one of the big logs off by itself and sell it, just because I'm really curious to know what they're worth by themselves. We still have quite a bit of roadside stuff to clean up here. Basically what I did is I just threw it all into a pile here so that we don't have to be moving around so much. The other stuff, there's like a couple other little random piles here along the way. But we should be able to get at least 2 or 3 loads out of what's left here. So we'll definitely play around with that and see what we can do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this to the mill. I'm just going to time-lapse it, and I'll bring it to the mill, unload it. But I'm going to put one of those big logs aside, and then we'll sell it separately when we unpause the world. So, yeah, let's get her done. All right, well, that was the most miserable load I've probably ever brought into the mill. That was it's kind of a nightmare because what happens with these big ones is for some odd reason when you cut them at weird angles, it'll look like it's all cut off, but for some odd reason there's like a huge invisible chunk of collision wall that you can't actually see. Then if you saw there, that's what was hanging up on trees when I tried to make those corners. The thing wouldn't even turn, and I'm like, well, it's not touching the tree, so what is it? And then I looked, and yeah, sure enough, it had a big, huge chunk. That's why I kind of sawed it off there. But anyway, same difference. Even unloading it was kind of a nightmare. So I don't know. These big trees, I do want to know what they're worth, but I don't know if it's actually worth it to be messing around with them on the same load as the little guys. So we're going to sell this and see what happens. I can't even predict how much this will cost. I'm going to say like 65 grand. Let's give it a shot. Oh, not even 50,000. 50,267. So I just really want to know for our own entertainment what one of these logs is worth to us. Probably not much. I bet you if you bucked it into smaller pieces, it'd probably be worth a little bit more, but let's take a look here. Drop it in there. All right. So what do you guys think? What is one of these stupid trees worth? These big guys. I'm going to say like maybe 8 grand. Let's see. Oh, not even 3,913. So if you had a full load of those things, it would probably be like maybe a $25,000 load. So those trees definitely not worth it. I don't think I would hunt those again because not only are they awkward to cut and leave behind all those weird collision walls and all that stuff, but they're not even worth very much money. Like, what's the point? I mean, it's good to get a little bit of money back, but yeah. Anyway, so maybe we'll head back out there and oops, I always turn it off. Head back out there and keep loading up the regular stuff. Thank God we have no more of those big ones. They were fun to haul just to do something different, but man, they were just so glitchy. And as you guys probably saw really quickly in that little time lapse there, this is the new Barko forwarder. Pretty sweet. It's almost ready. It's still kind of in beta. There's still a lot of beta stuff happening on it, but it's I don't know, it's a pretty nice machine. It's got a fixed head on it, not a dangle. I tried messing around with dangles for a really long time, and I am just so frustrated with them. They've changed them so dramatically from 2017 to 2019. I even tried copying physics from my old grapples from 17 to see if I could try to make them jive together a little bit, but nope, not a chance in hell. It just glitches out, and you can't do decent grabs, and I don't know. Not really something I'm interested in. Dangles have always been the one thing that just irritate the living hell out of me in this game because they're just not proper. No matter what you do to the physics, you have to make the head weigh like almost as much as the machine for it to react almost realistically to a dangle, and it's just not practical. It just doesn't work. So I went with a fixed head model on this guy. It's still the same style as a dangle, like looking, but it's a fixed head. And some people like that, some people definitely won't, but we can't please everybody. And until I find a better system, I need some time to do some testing with dangles to see if I'm even going to pursue it because so frustrating. I spent like probably 5, maybe 6 hours on that grapple. I'm not even kidding. Playing with it, going back, changing the physics. What it seems they did in 2019 now is they've put a limit on your I guess it would be your spring limit. So in the old game, you were able to set extremely high limits so that things kind of stayed within a certain confine so it would react better. In this game, they have a very low limit. So you can set it to a maximum of a certain amount. I don't know what the max is, but it's not enough. So, you set it to what you thought you had in 17, which was a good high maximum. Now it's such a low maximum that's like, I can't even get to where I need to go to make it work the way the other one did. Like, it's just, they've limited it within the game engine. That's what you get. And it's like, So more than likely, a lot of the stuff coming out in the future, there's not going to be a lot of dangle equipment because of that stupidity. I have seen a couple other machines that have dangle stuff that work okay, but even then, the dangles are so glitchy and just, frustrating. So anyway, that's my little rant about that. But we're going to bring this guy out. I wonder if I should just drive it now. Well, I think we should finish the road cleanup a little bit here. So let's do a little bit more road cleanup, and then we can look at maybe bringing that guy out there to clean up that little patch that we made. So again, that forwarder is still very much in what I would call beta status, because it's almost 100% ready, but the locking straps have some issues on the back where for some odd reason the rear end is locking to the body as well, and we haven't quite been able to locate the issue on that, so working on it though. It's amazing how you can copy everything just like the in-game machines, and yet it'll act totally different for whatever reason. And then you have to spend all the time trying to find the little missing idiosyncrasies from your machines. And you're like, why does this not work? It was working. So yeah. Anyway, that'll be just another adventurous thing to do. Mods take time, they take effort, a lot of work, a lot of playing around to get it right. So yeah, anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep doing some roadside loading here. And then after this load, I'm going to load this one up. After this one, I'll drive that forwarder out here and we can have some fun in the swamp. So yeah, anyway, wish me luck. Alrighty, so we got another decent load out of that one. I was just doing a little bit of sorting here. It just helps when I get to loading. So I keep the nice big, the big uniform logs on this side, and then we take out kind of the little stragglers. That way I can kind of cradle them in there, kind of like I did with this stuff, where you kind of mix and match to make it balance the load out. So let's get this guy back there. I'm not gonna sell this one. I'm going to stock it because we do have quite a bit of money now. Fuel's good on this guy. Imagine there's a couple machines that are going to probably have to get fueled up here pretty quick. So I'm just going to bring this guy all the way home. We'll park it in our usual spot there. Then we can bring out the forwarder and have some fun. Now, I was gonna haul it out there on a low bed, but I think I could probably just drive it. I think that'd be better. And what I'll do is I'll probably just time lapse the drive because it'll be kind of a long drive. Or maybe I'll just talk to you guys. I don't know. Talk about the subjects of life. So let's park this guy right here, and then we'll just bring the truck over in a position that looks like it's kind of ready for loading. There we go. Park it right in here. This is basically our bank, our graveyard bank. The wood graveyard. And as I said before, I should probably do something about these longs here one day too. I should probably sell those or something. Maybe one day if we have to buy another skidder or something, I'll drag some of it over there. So, okay, let's hop in Mr. Forwarder. Again, this thing is in beta, so expect anything to happen at any time. But yeah, my biggest problem right now is my lock joints. When I lock it, it's somehow it's locking the rear trailer a bit. So see how it lifts up? Not supposed to do that. That's bad. But when I unlock it, it turns just like normal. So clearly it's telling me one of the collisions has a lockable object on it. Or maybe because the whole machine is a lockable object, it's doing that. I don't know. I have to go play around. But it even does that. So what I did is, you know how all of my machines are lockable objects now, so you can lock them onto the trailers. What I did with this guy is I even turned it off so it wasn't a lockable object, and it still does that weird locking thing, which is kind of annoying. This makes it like kind of wobbly and hard to steer. But as soon as I unlock it, it's back to normal. So kind of strange. Kind of odd. So this guy's got a pretty basic little interior, nothing too crazy. Just simple. Don't need anything too wild. It's got a pretty good view of the back end here. I kind of made it so your head was, well, maybe a little too far forward into the seat, but that way, actually when you stop, it kind of positions you a bit better. But that way you can kind of turn around. If you like to do first-person loading, you can do that. You also got the crane camera as well if you want to go that route, which a lot of people prefer that. So the option is yours, however you want to do it. But yeah, it's a pretty fun little machine. I don't think I've seen too many issues with it yet. Is that exhaust? Could be a little lower there, maybe. Whatever, not a big deal. I always look for anything that functionality is always my number one. If the functionality isn't working, then we got a problem. But the functionality on this guy's good, despite the locking straps on the back. Yeah. Loading seems pretty straightforward. Driving it seems pretty straightforward. I haven't had any issues yet. Once I get the locking straps done, I think she'll be ready to roll. Personally, this might be a good spot for a photo, because you know me, gotta love them photos. Yeah, ooh yeah. It's not exactly the nicest day. I swear to God, in this game, it'll just never stop raining now. We went from no rain to, oh God, it's gonna rain forever. It's actually really relaxing though. You just sit here and just chill out in the rain, do your loading and stuff. It's probably the better way to do things, honestly. The sun's nice and all, but the rain is just so good. So yeah, this guy will be coming out probably later in May, probably around the middle of May, I'm assuming. That's the goal anyway. And then yeah, Chad's map should be out soon. By the time you see this video, I think it'll be coming up pretty quick, which is Rogue River, and we're going to be switching over to that map eventually. I still want to do a couple more things on this one before we go over there, but it's going to happen. We're going to switch over, and it's going to be pretty sweet. So he did an incredible amount of work on that map. I barely did anything on that one, so all credit goes to Chad mostly on that. I went and put in some decoratory shrubs and moved some stuff around, did some texturing a little bit, but I probably only put about 4 hours into his. I don't even know how much time he spent on that. A lot. Probably 100 hours. No, it's probably more. Probably less than that, but it was a lot of time. So yeah, you guys will be all enjoying that map soon, and we'll be definitely hitting it up with some single-player stuff like we're doing now, just to show it off and test this thing in the bogs here. Water crawler. Beauty. So I'm trying to remember where we started our little trail. Oh, it looks like it's right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go time-lapsey now. And well, actually, you know what? I'll pick up the first couple piles just to show you guys how the claw interacts. And then I'll go all time-lapsey on you. I'm a pick up on this side kind of guy. That's what I like. Right to left. Always right to left. Seems to be just the loading styles. So like I said, you have the option you can load in first person. I'm not a super great first person loader this way, because the camera doesn't exactly follow it, which apparently you can do, but I haven't gotten around to it. So you can do it that way, or like my favorite way is to use this camera, and then it follows your boom. So like I said, this thing's a fully rotational fixed head, so you control its tilt point, you control its rotate point. It's also got telescoping head similar to the other ones. It goes out ridiculously far if you really want to go that far. But yeah, it gives you kind of a little bit more room to play. Like I said, the fixed heads just react a lot better than dangle heads. Because I don't know if you guys remember when I was playing my single player, how horrible of an experience that was. Playing with the dangle noodle head there, trying to make it work. It was a nightmare. So this guy, oops, when you're not a drunk operator, actually works quite well. And again, the locking straps is an issue I'm going to be working on, but something I haven't dealt with quite yet. So yeah, anyway, what I'll do for the rest of this is I'm going to time-lapse it as we kind of go whip around and pick stuff up. And yeah, we'll see what time we're at by the end of that. And if we still got a little bit of time, we'll check out some other stuff. If not, we'll move on to the next one. So wish me luck. Alrighty, Lumberjacks. Well, I've kind of run out of time here, so I think I'm just going to leave this guy parked here. When we come back, we'll continue our excursion with the forwarder here. We're also going to probably use that guy to go cut some more trails so we can test it out. It's working really good. There's a couple little hiccups I want to kind of play with a little bit maybe before the next episode, but yeah, no, I'm really impressed with it. It's acting exactly how I want it to. I kind of started making a little pile over there to start for a loading spot, just so we have a destination to bring all this wood back to. But yeah, it should be fun. We'll keep her going in the next one. But until then, if you liked the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Do not forget to subscribe. And if you're in the bush, don't forget to hug a tree. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.